Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we take a bite out of movies. Literally. And for the first segment that we ever did, you know, the one that in 2 years' time, we're gonna look back and say, oh god, we were terrible. We picked The Lord of the Rings, one of the biggest movie franchises in all time. One of the 5 films, you know that The Lord of the Rings 1 was one of the 5 films ever to be #1 in the IMDb Top 100. But we need to go back in history a little bit more. We have to talk about J.R.R. Tolkien's novels, The Lord of the Rings. Written between 1937 and 1949, they were published between 1954 and 1955, sold over 150 million copies, and were deemed unfilmable by one Stanley Kubrick. In 1978, there was an animated movie feature directed by Ralph Bakshi, which we will need to talk about in greater detail at a later date, but then Peter Jackson came around. You know, the director of Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, and Bad Taste, who did The Frighteners and Heavenly Creatures kind of a short while before. But these were some of the most successful films of all times. Part 1 was nominated for 14 Oscars, won 4. Part 2, the least successful of the bunch, was nominated only for 6 Oscars, won 2. But then Part 3 still has the best nomination to win Oscar ratio of all time, because it won 11 out of 11 freaking Oscars. So this is a massive franchise, and this is the first one that we want to talk to you about, and this is why I want to ask you, why did we pick this one?
Why did we pick Lord of the Rings? Interesting question. Yeah, I have to tell you why we picked it. Alright, here we go. I'm going to make up a story on the spot. So, I was 14, I was in Pakistan.
You do know that we came up with this story like a week ago.
Yes.
So you weren't 14 a week ago.
No, I was not 14 a week ago.
Hopefully.
Oh my god. Then age has been so terrible to me. Like, God help me.
Yeah, this corona shit, this was a terrible
Corona's
week.
doing it all for us. No. Listen. Stop it and listen. So, Lord of the Rings, I've always been a fan of Lord of the Rings. I tell you why. I was about 14 at the time, and this was summer holidays. Lord of the Rings was out, and I remember, you remember those little TVs with a VCR, like 2-in-1?
Oh yes!
The grey ones. Oh my god. So I think it was the same as my laptop screen. Yeah, maybe 15 inches or something. And I bought a DVD player, because I was a G. And one of the first was Lord of the Rings DVD. Pakistan cinemas. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I bought the DVD and I watched it. But I watched it so many times that the DVD player was so crap when it was... What was it doing? When it's reading the DVD, it was making scratches on it.
Oh, so I know that from my old PS2.
Time, it was... Well, let's talk PS2 later. But after the 4th time, I reckon, the DVD was pretty much incapable of being a DVD anymore. It was just, you watch it for 5 minutes,
and then it
the video
skips to the end.
It freezes, so you have to press forward quite quickly. If you don't, then you have to start again, and then forward, or you quickly press forward, 10 seconds skip, and then you start watching the movie again. So it's quite an interesting movie for me. Lots of stops and starts, but I liked it. And then, you know, Lord of the Rings it's a good movie, man. It's
an awesome movie, but the thing is, do you still have the sold DVD?
I have it in London. In London. And you can call it a DVD, but I don't think it should be classified as one. There's so many scratches on it.
Might be a video CD. But the thing is,
a VCD? No, it was not a VCD. There wasn't enough MBs on a VCD. It was a DVD.
The thing is, when I watched The Lord of the Rings, I was like, I love the film, but there was one part of the film that I really didn't love. That was all the scenes.
Okay, this is his personal opinion, and
all the scenes with this...
I'm not having any of this.
Elf council. And I was like...
What's wrong with the Elf council?
I would have loved a Blu-ray that would just skip all those scenes.
What are you talking about?
I love
Council.
I love Liv
What are you
Tyler.
talking about? This is complete nonsense.
No, I love Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving is an awesome actor.
Who
if you
is
look
this
at
guy? What's the character's name? Speak to me in
Matrix,
characters.
the Matrix, or V for Vendetta. Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, V for Vendetta was a good movie. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Let's not get distracted.
I am very bad at remembering character names.
I am bad at remembering actor names, but I know the character names. I can associate. I'm like, oh, that's Frodo Baggins, or that's Samwise Gamgee, or whatever. Or Gandalf. That's Gandalf. But he's obviously a lot bigger actor than just Gandalf.
So, let's say, so you disagree with me. Okay, the Elf Council is apparently
You're talking
great.
nonsense. Elf Council is the whole reason for everything. What are you talking about?
The whole reason
For
is
everything.
a small man wanting to drop a ring in a volcano. That is the reason for everything.
This is nonsense. Whatever. I'm just not even going to respond to this. This is complete nonsense. Do continue with your jibber jabber. What are you laughing at? Continue.
No, because I think for me, the Lord of the Rings is a journey.
Of course it's a journey.
And I watched the movie.
It's not a journey. It's an epic journey.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
Most welcome. You see, I'm a nerd as well.
Yeah. Kind of like my epic journeys are like 5 hours after eating. But the thing is, the epic journey of someone wanting to get rid of a ring, this is like divorce council
It's not about trying to get rid of a ring. It's to destroy all evil. The ring is evil.
So you mean
Have you not seen the state of Gollum? This is me 14 till now in a week.
Do you mean destroying all evil? That's like voting for Joe Biden? No, but the thing is...
Let's not get political, because this is nonsense as well. There's two rubbish things he said. Elf Council and this American stuff.
Please put a counter in the video
Yes,
of
just
all
get
the
rid of
rubbish
this.
things.
Like, don't listen
No,
to it.
but the thing is, if we're talking Gollum, I think, what is your favorite character in all of Lord of the Rings?
You know what? Ganges. Samwise Gamgee. Sam is... Without Sam, there is no Frodo. The amount of times Sam has just done more than the support of Frodo is phenomenal. Like, you can't get near it. Sam is a cool dude. Don't mess with Samwise Gamgee. That's it.
Okay, I'm going with Gollum.
You look like him.
I'm not a... What?
Your hair with no hair, you look like Gollum. He looks like Gollum.
I'm not a drug addict.
You're Gollum.
Do you actually know that Andy Serkis based his performance of Gollum on the behavior of heroin addicts going into withdrawal?
You just made that up.
I did not.
I don't believe you.
This is one of the 700 facts about Lord of the Rings I read on the IMDb until
God, you are such
3
a
a.m.
nerd.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
What
You're
did
such
you
a nerd.
expect me to be?
I was
You
sleeping
saw
at 3
this
a.m.
room,
The guy was
right?
like, oh, I'm reading 700. What?
You see this room, right?
Yes, it's quite cool.
Yeah. So
Okay, so there's a room full of DVDs that you can never watch because they're so immaculately packed, and you're just like, ooh, I have a great collection, but you can never watch it. What's the point?
I watched these bad boys
Okay, yeah,
yesterday.
excellent.
But the thing is, I love the character of Gollum because it's one of cinema's most precious accomplishments.
That is your one and only time for that joke. That's not happening again.
Exactly.
Never
Which
again.
is why I'm glad I took it.
That's
no,
it.
but the thing is, the amount of motion capturing work and voice work by one of cinema's most talented performers. I love what Andy Serkis does. Not even reducing him to the Lord of the Rings. He was awesome in Planet of the Apes. He was awesome in everything that he's been in.
But I have to say, I'm going to cut you off on that. Sorry, I'm going to say, I remember when I was in sixth form, so this is 16 till 18, when just before university in England, and you do your A-levels, blah, blah, blah. Well, you pretend to anyway. So we had a library, and they had Guinness Book of World Records, and I don't know which year, but I remember that Gollum was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most, like, animated or CBG or whatever that word is, character. And I saw the background filming of Gollum, the guy is literally crouched and basically walking like a chicken, a human walking like a chicken with wires. You know when you have a heart checkup or whatever, and they put all of these ECB, whatever that thing is called on it, fine. But he was it a black suit? He was a black suit.
A black suit with white
wires
dots
everywhere. And I'm just like, how can you do that? It must be so uncomfortable to be in that swimsuit or dry suit or whatever diving suit. And you're just sitting there, lurking around, like trying to be a chicken and then trying to play a role and trying to have a sword fight. Just like, or trying to, but I guess, this is interesting. His posture was always looking down, right? And he lost the ring. So subconsciously, was he always looking for the ring on every step that he took? I wonder.
I think
he dropped it, right? So he's always looking down.
But there are two things I want to tell you about the performance of Andy Serkis as Gollum. There is one story that, he climbed on the mountains and stuff like that. And Andy Serkis in real life, he loves to climb mountains. So he already knew how to touch a rock and how to move in that sense. And the second thing is, when he did the voice work, he drank something that's called Gollum juice, which is a mixture between honey, lemon, and I think ginger.
Yeah, but my grandma gave me that when I had a sore throat.
Yeah, exactly, but he drank bottles and bottles of that. He drank
Oh my god, so he got the reverse effect of it, and
this.
he got the...
No,
This is a terrible, terrible imitation, but continue.
No, I actually like that. Please do
God.
it again. Please do a Gollum.
My precious.
Ooh, I feel weird doing
My precious.
that. Your face looks so weird, like...
What do you see? We want to be the owner of the ring.
Please
This is
tell us in
not
the
funny.
comments
This
which
is
one of our
absolutely
Gollums
not funny.
you like more. But the thing is
No.
about the one ring. Peter Jackson gave a ring after production closed to both
Elijah and Gollum. Yeah.
And he told both of them they had the only
only
one.
ring, yeah.
This is awesome.
So Peter Jackson's a G. This is genius stuff.
Peter Jackson has been a genius since he made Bad Taste, in my opinion. But the thing is, if you ask me, The Lord of the Rings is actually Gollum's journey. Gollum is the one who started it.
Gollum
basically.
did actually. Yeah, he found the ring in the lake
Smeagol,
and blah blah blah, and then killed
started
his mate.
it. He is
Over a
a
fish
part
and a ring.
of most of the way of the ring. Gollum has been with the ring way longer than Frodo has.
Yeah, but Gollum, in the actual book, where it had to be rewritten, Gollum lost the ring on a bet.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were very accurate in the film with what was in the book. So much so that Peter Jackson even included the Army of the Dead, which he personally did not like. He didn't want to have them in the film, but he said, okay, no, there are so many fans. There are so many fans of the Army of the Dead. We cannot edit those out.
You can't. The Army of the Dead was cool. Okay, let's talk about the movie. Enough of the jibber jabber. Right. You have nothing to say? Should I say something now? Where's your movie nerd brain going?
Thank you so much for tuning in to the
shut
first
up,
episode of the Pork and Knuckle Show.
So. Right, interesting. So, Gandalf can see the future. He's got this foresight. So does Thingy. What's his name? Lord Elrond. He can, because he's elfish. Elvish. He can also see.
You mean he lives in the water?
He's a fish. He can also see the future. So when they were making the council, which you dislike, and then they gave the Fellowship of the Ring to the 9 dudes and dudettes, politically correct, whatever. They must have known that Sean Bean was gonna try and take the ring and eventually die. Because
everybody has to know
apart from
that
the fact that Sean Bean dies in every movie.
Yes,
Apart
Sean
from
Bean
that,
appears. He dies.
No. We're talking logic here. We want to talk Lord of the Rings logic. So, Gandalf, because he said, "Oh, I will guide you, young Frodo." Okay, he didn't say that exact phrase, but yeah, you know what I mean. So Gandalf and Elrond must have known that Sean Bean would have tried to take the ring and eventually end up dead. So that was a way to get rid of him, because he was a massive pain in the buttocks. because his father was the stewardess and constantly kept, well, interjecting. His father thought he was king. His father's not king. He's just a guardian. But anyway, guardian of the throne. Right, we're gonna go to the orcs because
Orcs are awesome.
I find them an interesting subject.
I love the way they made the orcs in Uruk-hai, because you know they had to swallow and cleanse their mouth with licorice juice every time they opened their mouths in front of a camera, because they had to have the black mouth. I can't stand it either. And so I was like, okay, that must have been the greatest accomplishment in acting. I think all of the Uruk-hais deserve an Oscar just for having the taste of licorice in their mouth and not being able to be filmed only in front of a toilet.
What you just said is toilet. I'm gonna continue. So, some questions here for these, like, orcs being born. So, when they were being unearthed from Saruman, they were coming out of like this jelly skin on them and like taking them out on the mud. What's going on there? I didn't like that. When they were in the two towers, there's an orc and they're unearthing the orc, and then he's covered in basically like this jelly shield and they're like ripping him out. I'm like, ugh, that is minging. That's not cool. An orc coming out of jelly in mud, but an orc is not mud. When Uruk-hai is, what is it? They're half elf, half human, aren't they? Sucked up by the dark power because the Dark Lord, not Voldy, he promised them human flesh if he came into power, and that is what their greed was. That is what their like hook was, to keep following him all the time.
Yeah, but if we're talking Uruk-hai, do you remember Lurtz?
Yes.
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 Lurtz was incredibly awesome because, do you know, it took 11 hours for his makeup to be applied. And the one thing is, when the actor, who was called Lawrence Macquar, was in the Lurtz makeup, he couldn't see properly. But he still had a fight scene with Viggo Mortensen, and when they did the fight, that fight was real. Because
didn't Viggo get stabbed accidentally?
Yeah.
He chipped a tooth or something.
He chipped a tooth. He broke a toe.
Full commitment.
Full commitment.
Like,
awesome
wow.
actor.
Like, that's why Aragorn is a great character.
No, I mean, Viggo Mortensen is an
he's
incredible
an
actor.
himself.
Have you seen A History of Violence, which is brilliant? But the thing is, the fight scene between Lord Lurtz and Aragorn is particularly interesting because they really had to fight, because Lurtz didn't see anything, so he would just hit him.
He used proper sword. He used aluminium. No, he didn't use aluminium. He used steel swords.
He did really fight, but there was
proper swords and did his own stunts.
There is one story. There's one story that I've been looking for in my notes for like 5 minutes now, but that I need to tell you, because we talked about Sean Bean, and Sean Bean always dying.
Yeah, oh my god. 22, yeah. I think it's 22 deaths in his career, or maybe more. I've just made that up. I don't think I have. I think somehow in my memory.
No, I read something. There's only 4 movies he ever did where he doesn't die or something like that. But the thing is, in that story, I understand him being very much afraid of dying. But do you know, he's not only afraid of
the evil ring.
dying, he's also afraid of flying. This is one of the funniest stories I found.
Unreal.
Because the thing is, when they were shooting the scenes of the Fellowship crossing the snowy mountains
in New Zealand,
all the people flew there by helicopter, but only Sean Bean didn't, because he only flew when there was
with his
no other way.
The guy's meant. Okay, this is a great way to stay fit.
He went into makeup, he got dressed, then he climbed the mountains for 2 hours every freaking day, where everyone else was sitting in their comfy helicopter.
Back to orcs. Uruk-hai. They are the officers and commanders of the orcs, basically, because the orcs don't like the sun, and hence why you have the Uruk-hai leading the orcs, and they're like, follow me, and they're much faster, so orcs got to catch up to him stay up with it. But I wonder, Middle Earth, this is where we get political. Ha ha ha.
See ya!
I wonder that if that has any resemblance to the Middle East. Is Token thinking that if Middle East unites, evil will finish? So
You're
it's
not
like...
gonna even ask me to come back?
No, it's better without him. Come on. It always is. Oh, did I hurt your feelings, little mushy? But anyway, God, that guy. But I think Token, deep down, must have thought, or there must be some kind of subconscious link. Middle Earth, Middle East, and you're thinking all the good unites against the evil and gets rid of them. And that was it.
I think that is great closing words, because I think you just said that is it. Which is perfect.
That is it.
And also...
I'm now chatting nonsense.
And also the fact that there are two, well, let's call them people, talking about the fact good versus evil. Now that we are done talking about the good thing, which is the Lord of the Rings, and I think we can all agree the Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest trilogies in cinematic history.
The greatest. It's better than The Godfather.
Brilliant
It's the greatest,
masterpiece.
most consistent.
And we gotta thank all the people involved in making this masterpiece. But the thing is, since we're here at the Pork and Knuckle Show, after 20 minutes of talking about the Lord of the Rings, maybe we should put the fight between good and evil to a test. Because I guarantee you, I will find...
What you talking about, Paul?
Evil Lord of the Rings films. Till next time.
Catch you in a bit. Like,
let's see if Ben
subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Yes, please like, subscribe, leave us a comment, but don't forget to leave us with a subscription, because there is more stuff on the Lord of the Rings and many more famous franchises coming in the future. We are the Pork and Knuckle Show, and we are here to stay, whether you want us or not.
Why are you saying they don't want us? I think they want us.
I'm already finished the video, so please just do your,
don't listen to it.
Ending face. Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we take a bite out of movies. Literally.
Literally.
Like literally. But the thing is, first, I think we're really going to need to take a bite out of something literally. Because the last time we talked about the fact that, the Urukai, for the fact that they had to have a black mouth. They had to chew on licorice. And...
I don't like licorice.
You really don't like that, right?
I don't like it. I don't know why. I don't
You
like
hate it. You really hate it. That is a bad thing for you right now, because I have licorice right here.
I'm not trying it on camera. Sacre bleu.
We have Mentos licorice mint,
Sacre bleu,
there is
sacre bleu.
no way you're not gonna try this right now. There is actually no way.
Things you have to do for the views.
Wait, that we're not. Thank you, by the way, to Flohmarktmaster 1988 for giving me this in one of a mystery package he sent to me.
I have no idea what he said, but okay.
But the thing is...
I try licorice. This is not...
Let's try this.
What do I do? Do I chew it?
Yeah. And I actually like this. It has this anise flavor of ouzo.
Why are we doing this?
Because I wanted to see this face.
Can we just continue with the video, for the love of God? This is worse than Jaeger.
This is... No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's
So, for the second segment of our show this month, we decided not only that we're going to taste licorice, we're going to try to find the worst knockoff of the Lord of the Rings that has ever been conceived onto, let's call it, film. And if you look at our setup here, you will notice there is a movie called The Ring Thing, and there's also maybe a Blu-ray that you think, what the is this? Because it's called In the Realm of the Dinosaurs, translated into English, and I have to say, for this Blu-ray to be called something about dinosaurs, it's kind of strange because it has movies on it like Jurassic Shark 1, Jurassic Shark 2, Jurassic Shark 3, and, of course,
Lord of Elves.
Jurassic Raptor. You were correct.
What do you mean Jurassic Raptor? Is that the name of Lord of Elves?
No!
Thank
No,
God.
this is, there are 13 movies in terrible picture quality on this Blu-ray, but the one that we're actually focusing is being called Lord of the Elves. But the thing is, the movie is only called The Lord of the Elves because producers of the Lord of the Rings live-action movie and the Lord of the Rings animated movie sued production company The Asylum because they were disallowed to use the original title of the movie, which was called Age of the Hobbits. And Age of the Hobbits is
useless.
Whatever the hell did I just see there? I mean, you gotta say, it's a movie by The Asylum, and for all of you lucky enough to have never heard the term The Asylum, let me introduce you to the fact of movies like...
He made me watch it. He made me watch it for this video, so you better like it.
Let me introduce you to the gentleman who brought you the timeless classic called Sharknado, and all other related films.
Found it, please. Put it back where you found it.
You don't want to watch Sharknado?
No, I do not want to watch the Sharknado. Is this
dear viewers, I think
I don't know.
This is your time to tell Bill that you definitely want to have a Sharknado special on our channel, because this is definitely going to happen, and I really want it to happen because I love the work of The Asylum.
Right. Lord of the Elves.
And the thing is, there is one more thing, because if you're talking about the worst thing that ever happened to the Lord of the Rings,
you talk so much.
I have to say the worst thing that happened to the Lord of the Rings, apart from, you know, our last video, was the fact when I went off cam and you saw that I had a little pillow cushion here.
You're so short and you're gonna...
No, the thing is, if I really sit down here, it really is like the Lord of the Hobbits.
Oh my God!
And to you watching this, I can never do this.
Not even try
with any straight face.
Get the camera still.
And the thing is, this is even in relation to another funny story I recall from the shooting of the Lord of the Rings, because they wanted to make the hobbits look shorter than other people like Gandalf, but they aren't little people. They are regular sized people.
So I'll tell you something about that. Gimli is actually the tallest person in the whole set. 6.1?
6.1. And John Rhys Davies, who plays Gimli, also, by the way, the voice of Treebark, which I still...
John Rhys Davies, he must be Welsh.
No, John Rhys Davies is a great actor who I have only the most respect for. I've seen him in millions of productions. And the fun thing is, while the Lord of the Rings have so many special effects shots...
They do. Of course.
I see. I mean, I think the last one has like 1,500 of CGI shots in the movie. Peter Jackson, I think, was great in using CGI only when CGI was really necessary, trying to film everything in a regular manner. So, whenever there was an interaction between Gandalf and Frodo...
Why are you pointing me at Gandalf?
Yeah, Gandalf and Frodo. I'm showing you why. Because, literally, what they wanted to create was this. To make me look small.
You are small. so they don't need to create it. But anyway, we're going to now go.
But
They
used stuff like
Offline.
forced perspective, so to have other people sit like more in front of the camera. So now I look like I'm way bigger than this here guy. But
You don't. You look small. You look like a peanut.
But apart from all that, we are here to talk about the worst Lord of the Rings.
So I'm going to start it off. I'm going to say.
Please do.
The first scene where the girl is picking the fruit, her nails are filed so perfectly.
Yes.
How could they do this? 10,000, 12,000, whenever the caveman time. How could a girl file their nails so perfectly 10,000 years?
Maybe-
Does that mean files were invented that long ago?
No, maybe they don't have, the firestone. They only have also have the nail stone. And do this.
Right, that was rubbish. The treehouse is not balanced correctly. It doesn't work physically. It's just, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? Like, are they just putting random things and they're like, oh yeah, we'll see if it sticks for 10 seconds and then boom, we'll just shoot the film and then bang, it's a catastrophe. Yeah, I didn't get that.
But maybe there in these times they made different tree houses for different parts of the family.
There's one tree. The trees
kids-
has been the same.
The kids they get a proper tree house,
And
but
the
the
kids
other
that-
kids are like, yeah, let's try living in this, and if it falls down,
This is mental behavior. Okay, no, the most important thing is, what is wrong with their teeth? Are they vampires? Are they lizards? Like, they had these weird teeth, and I couldn't concentrate on the movie. Every time a shot came in, I'm just like, your teeth look interesting. I'm not gonna say any derogatory terms, but like, God help me, those teeth.
really,
There was something wrong with that
this
teeth.
is your problem with Age of the Hobbits.
Another problem is it was very fast-paced. My God, they did everything. And those weird dudes, are they supposed to be orcs? Like, is there actually a resemblance between... Are they trying to take the Mickey out of Lord of the Rings by creating parody characters? Or is it just a random movie and they thought it's just the best way to sell it? Ooh, let's make it as close to Lord of the Elves.
Yes.
You think so, right?
No.
Because that surely is not a parody of Lord of the Rings.
This is what The Asylum does. Let me introduce you to other film titles by The Asylum. It's Snakes on a Train. Snake out of Compton is another
Yeah, but
movie that was
like-
made,
But you look at this, and they use leaves to camouflage. Classic. Ha ha ha. But they're using leaves to paraglide, and I'm just like...
This is awesome. I love this. Have you seen Ator where Reb Brown
If a leaf is broken off a branch, it is not thick. The skin is not thick enough. So if you're flying, you must have holes in the leaf. So surely this is horrendous, like, for paragliding, because there's no actual... Physics
Yeah,
people
but
tell me, well,
you have never-
like, it doesn't
you
go down
have-
like this, and if you have holes, then God knows, you're going like this, and you're gonna die.
You have never seen the paragliding scene with Reb Brown in one of my all-time favorite movies.
What's this guy
This is-
talking about? Like, do you understand gravity? You're a physics
Yes,
teacher. You understand
of
gravity?
course I understand gravity, but
Dude, the filmmakers understand gravity. I don't know.
No.
Like, they didn't. And all this spear throwing or whatever they were throwing. No, this bone thing. And you're just like, how can you get that distance? Man, I played cricket and you have to throw a little bit. You gotta get the technique right. Technique. Or baseball. These people were like just pinging it. And you
Yeah.
just go, what is going on? They're just like, whoop. Jesus.
but still, can we talk about the little fact that this movie has two people in it that I really generally like and appreciate. There is Bai Ling in this movie, who was a part of Crank 2, who was a part of many Asian films that I truly adore.
I'm gonna stop you there. He made me watch both the movies in German, no subtitles, and I was just like, oh my God, what is this going on? What is going on here? Do continue with your
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this issue
of a
soon. The second person that I really want to pick out of Lord of the Elves is Christopher Judge, who I really appreciate. He was Teal'c in the entire run of Stargate SG-1, one of my all-time favorite science fiction shows. And it's really great to see people like this in films like this, because I'm a trash movie fan. And this is what gets me back to this Blu-ray, because it has 13 films in terrible picture quality, but only in the German audio version. This, I'm very sorry about that I didn't have Age of the Hobbit
We've
in
blabbed
the
on
correct
enough.
version.
With
this going off, we have to talk about the other film, The Ring Thing, which I could not provide you with in an English version.
No, he couldn't.
Because this movie is actually a Swiss movie. This film was made in Switzerland, and
and on a plane, the guy's in a toilet, and somehow he ends up in The Ring Thing. Not only that, why is there a genie Aladdin guy on top of a tree? What's going on there? And then, you know what? The movie's actually quite funny because they're using rubber gloves to wash dishes, and just like, if you're gonna make a parody of Lord of the Rings, Caveman Time, they've not discovered rubber there. They're not gonna have rubber gloves. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then there's a dictator. There's a dictator who has a cheese fondue sauce at the end of the world. That is mental.
That's what he wants to do.
I wonder what type of cheese he would. What type of cheese do you think? Emmental? No. Gouda? Maybe Swiss Gouda
Mozzarella.
Cheese? But that's Italian. What are you talking? You just introduced it as a.
Okay, yeah, it's Swiss cheese.
It's Swiss cheese. It can't be mozzarella. We're not making pizzas. Or the dictator's in it. Boom, Mussolini. No, he's not Mussolini.
No, he's Sauraus, and Sauraus literally means in German, let the pig out, which is, if you let the pig out, then you party very, very hard. And there is one thing that I didn't want to do when I watched this movie, and that was party.
No, but speaking of parties, so, when they make the parody scene of them going in the mines, and Gandalf stays behind and starts cross-dressing and dancing, is that Harry Potter theme that I'm hearing in there? Because I think, what just happened? Is it like a massive...
Can you please repeat the part about the music?
The guy has had... Is it a Harry Potter movie theme? I don't know. The guy's sitting there dancing. Woo! Sorry, my head's cut off. And then you're just like... He's cross-dressed, he's dancing. Is it a Harry Potter theme? In a Lord of the Rings parody, The Ring Thing, sorry, apologies, The Ring Thing, and you're just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Those two movies were a very weird hour and a half each of my time. I'm like,
you know, the funny thing is,
it was German, but you could see it, yeah. Gandalf was playing some card tricks. It was quite funny. Light-hearted, but...
Thing is, I gotta correct you on one thing that is very important to me. The Ring Thing is only 76 minutes long, and this is important.
1 hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah, this is very important to me because I wasted 1 hour and 16 minutes on this miserable piece of unwatchable crap.
Both of them were rubber. I think out of these two.
Yeah, please, what is your favorite?
My favorite is The Ring Thing.
Are you mental?
No, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?
This is
rubbish. You got these guys with
this is
the
rubbish.
weirdest teeth. And they're like trying to kill lizards, or like, what is it, crocodile lizard thing, what you talking about? And then, they're hungry, there's a Gollum guy. That Gollum guy has hair, like a mohawk, and you're just like, you are such a weird dude, like, that was weird. And then they're killing a woman with a spear, and when they kill someone, the spear comes back and there's no blood on it. It's just like, if you kill someone, surely there should be some residue. Nothing. This is not a G.
But the thing is, this is a movie.
Is there a cheese fondue sauce in your movie?
No.
Go suck on a lemon. Go suck on a lemon.
There is superimposed, badly computer-generated dragons in this movie.
They were horrendous.
And this makes this awesome.
That was horrendous.
This makes it awesome.
No, this is awesome. This is a storyline.
This movie is a painful disgrace to parodies and homages.
This movie will provide you with some light-hearted entertainment on a lovely dinner that you're hosting for your friends. This movie, you're going to lose friends. Don't do it. I think that's it. I think we're gonna.
Yeah. You know the
We've
fun
spoken enough.
The
Oh
fun
my
thing
God.
is, I tried losing friends with this movie,
Right, enough.
but he's still sticking
Cut,
with me.
cut,
so
cut, cut,
hopefully
cut,
you
like,
are
subscribe,
going.
and leave
you
a
are
comment
going
below,
to
please,
to
and let us
continue
know which is the
sticking
best
with
one.
us. Yes.
Like, subscribe, cut.
If you have ever seen any one of these
He's
two
not
terrible
cutting.
movies, please talk to us in the comments. We would love to have your opinion. This is it for today for the Pork and Knuckle Show.
Still
Thank you
not
so
listening.
much for joining. We'll
Doesn't
see
listen
you
to me.
again
No one listens to
next
me.
week.
No one
and
listens
this
to
is
me.
us
Stop
signing
it over
off,
there.
shutting the hell up,
We cut,
and saying
we cut.
cut.
Cut. Boom.
No, I already said cut.
I said cut.
No, I said cut.
But I like the movie better than you.
But I like my cut better
Okay,
than your
this-
cut.
And
So-
boom. Stop talking.
yeah, now cut.
Hello, and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we literally take a bite out of the movie. So, we discussed Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
we discussed the parodies, interesting concept in itself, and now we figured, you know what, why not make movie food? So, for this segment, you will see Frodo fries and Samwise chicken. But since we are now in the autumn season, we've got a pumpkin, alright?
Yeah, that reminds me of Sean Astin's face.
Right,
who
that
gained
guy looked like a pumpkin. Sam guy
literally
his
like
face.
30 pounds
Right.
for
Let's
his
get to
role.
it. Let's get to it.
So, but
So
the other
I'm
thing
going to
is,
tell you what to do
Yes.
here, because you can't be randomly chopping. Right, for the pumpkin, you're going to chop the top.
yeah,
That's too high, a little bit, that's too much wasted, just about here.
okay,
And then you're going to clean the little bit of the inner sides out. And this is where we're going to serve our Frodo fries from.
yeah,
Frodo fries are potatoes. Boom. Potatoes with rosemary. We've got a bit of elderflower seed. This is very, very abundant in Austria, so it's quite cool. We have paprika. Paprika, there's nothing like paprika in the world. And then you have some olive oil, because that's the G of all oils. And then you have a little bit of salt and pepper. So now what you want to do is imagine hobbit fingers. Not like ours. A bit smaller.
well, your fingers are kind of hobbit fingers.
But we will continue. The silence is there for a reason. Right.
Yeah, that's because we don't have an audience
Chopping the
applauding
potatoes.
this.
In short, keep the skin on. Crispy skin on a potato. Man, oh man, oh man. With olive oil, that stuff looks good. Oh yeah. So we're gonna try this recipe, see what happens. Right, I'm chopping off 3 slices of this lovely potato. If there ever was a lovely potato. These are really, really big fingers, so we can do it in half. Boom, job done.
What am I going to do with my pumpkin after I
So
cut
what
it?
you're gonna do with your pumpkin, that is delicious. That is what's gonna be served. We're gonna have Frodo fries in there. We're gonna have chicken all around the top.
So, should I start on the chicken?
Yes, you should actually.
Yes.
Now, we have the bad boys. We have the bad boys. You know what? Let's take the lid is here. You got the parchments. Everything is now absolutely.
You want
wrong.
the chicken pieces that I'm done with?
Not yet, but I will because I'm gonna marinate them for just a little
Yes.
bit longer. And because they're only chicken pieces and not a full roast chicken, they don't need as much time in the oven. I would say for the pumpkin, you would have, and the potatoes, 40 to 45 minutes, get a little bit crispy. You've got rosemary, and I think that does the trick because you have thyme on the other side. This is great. You know what this reminds me of? If you look at Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, when Sam and Frodo were on top of the cliff edge and they were cooking a stew.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The one that Gollum didn't like.
The one that Gollum didn't like. So you saw human mercenaries. Now this was the weird part for me. Human mercenaries are clearly not understanding. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're humans. They're humans. Saran does not want the human race. So surely if you're fighting for this guy that wants to kill your race, you're going to end up being dead anyway. So what is the point of being a mercenary for somebody that wants your race dead? Because you're human. Ipso facto, human fighting for the evil and evil wants your race dead is going to end up killing you. He's not going to end up paying you.
The thing that I love the most about the reference that Knuckles just did for this scene is that this is actually the most favorite scene for Andy Serkis in the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, because he said the way when he spit on the food and the spit that you see flying across the screen is actually Andy Serkis's spit.
No
this
way,
is
really?
not
This
superimposed.
wow.
This is not CGI. This is real, and this is the scene that he loved the most out of the entire franchise.
So it's
And
similar to Thingy. When Gandalf first walked into the Shire and Bilbo Baggins' place and he banged his head on the...
Yes,
So
yes.
the head was actually not scripted and they banged it in, but it's so natural, they're just like, yeah.
He said, yeah, right. Or like the celebration at Hobbit Village when they had the light effects, you know, the
firework thing,
the
the
firework
dragons,
thing,
the dragons.
exactly. And
You know Mary's screen, that the real screen was Mary's screen.
The screen was
It was a
real.
genuine screen.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was a genuine
metal.
screen because the actor thought like, okay, this is gonna be CGI, but then it went like boom, and he's like, what the?
What is? But I tell you what,
Whoops.
the next thing that we're gonna do is apple skins.
So right now I have prepared the apple skins.
Basically, apples and skinning them. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That
Oh, wow.
smells like heaven.
Oh,
However, my
that
glass
is
is
good.
No, let the chicken
wow.
cook.
Let's put them here.
Can you hold on? Let
Yes.
me grab them. Let me put them in.
That's gentle.
No, don't put them in the pumpkin. Do not put them in the pumpkin. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm gently distributing them.
Just distribute them,
Yes.
and that will add to the flavor of the potatoes. Oh my god, you'll have Frodo fries with apple skin. That stuff is gonna look good. But set a timer for 12 minutes. Maximum apple skins in there. Don't put it in for any longer. Because I read it on a website and that's how it is. We will find out. Hey,
Let's see.
let's see.
Let's see what happens next.
I wanted to talk to you about
Yeah.
it. So, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Yes.
The Army of the Dead.
Yes.
You know what? I am such a fan of the Army of the Dead. But I wonder why he relinquished them of their oath just after the battle and not use them to go into Mordor, because they could go through the Black Gate. He didn't have to knock in. And they could destroy everybody and give a pure, clear path to young Frodo and Samwise Ganges. This was it. This was my like... And Gimli was right. He was just like, oh, we can use him in a better source. And it's just like, yeah, you could, because this was it. Send them to Mordor, get rid of all of the orcs, empty space, go in, destroy the ring. Yes, you would still have Gollum biting the finger off, blah, blah, blah. But I think that would have been a much less human casualty situation.
Yeah, but the thing is, there definitely, if you go into the big Lord of the Rings lore, there will be an explanation for this, because the worst plot hole in all of the Lord of the Rings franchise that I've ever heard was the one that, wait a second, they get transported back by the eagles.
Yeah, what's this eagle
Why?
stuff coming in?
Why didn't they just fly the eagles in there, drop the ring, and maybe turn an
So,
11-hour franchise into a 20-minute
Yeah, but
movie?
look. It's a movie. It's got a story. We have miscalculated the time, as the amateurs do. The chicken is ready before the vegetables. How lovely. So, we're going to take the chicken out. Oh my god, this looks...
My god, oh.
This looks quite good.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie.
This,
Just
looks
chuck
like
it in there.
actually-
I think for the vegetables, including the apple skin, because the apple skin was too soft. I want it a little bit crispy. So for this, I'm gonna give it another 12 minutes. You can't just eat a chicken. No. You just eat a chicken.
Oh,
It's hot? It's hot.
no, it's good.
This is surprising, but this is interesting.
No, you can't taste
No, Corona.
it. Take another one.
But this is tender because look at it. I didn't even use a knife.
This is this is awesome.
Right, guys, we're gonna take out the chicken.
So I can turn off the oven.
I think
right
you
now.
should. I think that
Yes.
is quite a genius idea.
So
No, I've got glasses. They get all steamy. Hold on.
Let's see.
get the old canopy on.
please don't, because it's gonna fog up the audio. But let's see.
All right, the chicken is here. Interesting news. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's so And
Let's
now,
turn this up. Holy hell, this looks good.
oh my God.
Oh my God! Look at this pumpkin.
Oh God, this turned out better than I expected.
Look at
This is
this.
quite saucy. This is quite saucy. Ooh, I said
Oh
saucy.
wow!
How can I pick this up?
Maybe
I'm gonna
not
pick it
with
up
your
with my hand.
hands. You're not really gonna do that.
I'll have to do it with the old cloth because that is some hot
Please
stuff.
do.
But you understand? You understand? Hold on.
I
Let me.
really understand the fact that you have a deep trouble with the pumpkin.
I can't pick it up. I can't pick it up. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, the pumpkin's completely trashed. Ah, that is hot. That is so hot. Oh my God, that is hot. Frodo fries are gonna be on it. Hold on. But the juices have gone inside. This is what I wanted. The most important was the pumpkin juices going inside with a little bit of apple skin. And you know, you're gonna try it and you're gonna feel a bit of crunchiness. You're gonna feel a bit of rosemary. You're gonna feel a bit of paprika. And I think you might like it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look. Oh.
It looks so awesome.
I think. Forget the lid and all of that. Let's get posh.
I
forget
gladly
the
take the lid.
Terrible,
Lucky you.
terrible. Lucky me. Lucky me. It's not falling down. But there you are. That is gonna be absolutely.
Taste this.
So,
Holy hell.
give me a
Let
plate,
me-
brother.
Please let me put this closer to the camera. Let me show you, and not my face, how beautiful this looks. This, even though you broke the pumpkin,
I broke the pumpkin.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all.
Let me try and
This looks incredible. Yes.
for you.
I'm going to taste a bit of the pumpkin because I'm very curious about the pumpkin.
Me too.
Well, it falls apart.
Which is good. It's hot.
Yes. It is.
But it's. I like the roastiness.
What was the recipe that you used for this?
Frodo fries had rosemary, salt, pepper, paprika, olive oil. Nothing else. And pumpkin had nothing. You just cut the pumpkin and put it in. The chicken, rosemary, thyme, salt, pepper, and olive oil. And that's all you need.
This was it for today's show. I'm hoping you enjoyed us. Let me say that we will see each other again next week on the same day at the same time with another video on the Lord of the Rings. And please excuse us, I think we have a lot of food to eat and a lot of belly to fill. Thank you for watching.
Peace out. Hello and welcome to the Poker Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movie Like, literally. And we just did.
We just did.
Man, oh man, oh man. That pumpkin.
Holy.
I tell you what. We just got a pumpkin. We just cut the top off. And we just roasted it. And then
Amazing.
we put the Frodo fries in it. And the juice of the pumpkin.
I just remember we never put the fries into the pumpkin.
No, we tried to.
because
the
you
pumpkin
broke it. But it was brilliant. Please taste
stuff
this.
was good.
Please test this and tell
stuff
us
was
how
really
it
good.
felt.
I tell you
But
why it's good. Because the paprika and the elderflower really, really balanced themselves. I'm not a chef and all of this stuff, but I tell you, it wasn't too spicy. It wasn't too sugary. It was just like heavenliness.
it was awesome. But
It was heavenliness.
may
And ladies.
I just tell you
What?
that Mr. Knuckles is just stalling right now because there is one thing that we're trying to do in this video, which is having a fact battle. And the fun thing is about this fact battle is we're going to try to off one each other with facts from the Lord of the Rings trilogy and have you guys decide who of us has the better facts
But
up
the
the
max
sleeve.
we're gonna have is 5
And-
each, because, you know, facts will go
Yes.
on and on. Lord of
We
the Rings
have-
is phenomenal.
We have 5 facts prepared per person, and in the end, you decide who has the best facts. And the thing is, you can
I'm going
tell
first,
us.
I'm going first, I'm going first.
This is not what I was trying to say.
Alright,
Because
what were you trying
you
to say?
decide who has the best facts, and
No,
on
I
the
do.
other hand, the person who loses has to do something. There is a certain challenge going on with this, so you in the comments, you
Interesting.
tell us what the person who loses this fact battle actually has to do afterwards.
Within
There will
reason,
be-
you must understand I'm an old man, and I've lost a lot of hair, my knees hurt, my back hurts, so within reason, don't start saying, oh, you got to bungee jump off Everest. This is not going to happen. Like,
No,
yeah.
it has
Well,
has
this
to
is
be done
mentalist.
quite easily, but I understand why you're afraid, because you're going to easily lose this battle.
Alright, I'm gonna start.
So please
I'm going to read it.
Start.
I have to
start
read it, 'cause
with
I'm not
your
a movie nerd
first
like him, but I'm going to
battle.
read it.
Start with your
An
first fact.
International Astronomical Union regulation states...
Sorry. Could you please just read it like you're reading to actual human beings?
You're not human.
I understand that. Please proceed.
An International Astronomical Union regulation states that all mountains on Titan must be named after the mountains from Lord of the Rings. Doom's Mons is named after Mount Doom. The names follow a convention by the IAU Working Group for Planetary System. I can't read this word, it's more than 5 letters. Nomenclature. The Titanian mountains are named after mountains in Tolkien's works. Boo, that is so cool. Dude, you've got a planet.
That is so
Named
cool! I just
after-
presented a fact that I could not even present. I am the most
Excellent news, but what is the reason?
coolest person on
Titan.
the planet.
And you've got mountain names after your whole... Well, that's just G business going on. Do continue with your
Yes.
lovely facts.
I will have my first fact, and it's about Sir Christopher Lee, which is one of my most beloved actors of all time. He's a
a very
genius.
good actor.
He's
Very
the
good actor.
only, and this is not the fact yet, believe me, he's the only person out of the entire cast of The Lord of the Rings who ever had the chance to meet
Tolkien.
J.R.R.
Yeah,
Tolkien
we
in person.
know.
He read
Everybody
The Lord of the
knows this.
Rings
When you Google it, it's the first thing
once
that comes
a
up.
year
Oh my
until
God.
his death. Yes, this is
Lack of
very
research,
this is
lack of
very
research. This
easy
is
to know.
terrible.
But did you
What?
know that there was one scene where Wormtongue, played by Brad Dourif, by the way, the actor who played Chucky, the voice work for Chucky, stabs Christopher Lee in the back. And Peter Jackson, the director, was trying to tell Christopher Lee how to behave when being stabbed in the back. And Christopher Lee, who was a Nazi fighter, who was a veteran of World
Really?
War
Oh,
II,
interesting.
who speaks, I think, I have it right here. He speaks French, German, Italian, and Spanish, and can get along in Greek, Russian, and Swedish. So he is
the guy's a
multilingual.
genius.
He was in the Second
One thing
World
is one
War,
thing, this is-
and Peter Jackson trying to tell him to behave like, so this is what happens when you get stabbed in the back, and Christopher Lee was like, no, I know
How to react.
how that
Really?
sounds,
So he
and
overrode Peter
how
Jackson.
people react when they get stabbed in the
Because I was
back.
on the wall. However, I'll tell you one thing. Yes, that's so interesting, but it's not cool as being... Dude, a mountain range is named after your books on a different planet. You can't top that.
You can top it by
I'm
a
gonna top
person.
it. I'm gonna
you can,
top it.
You can
I'm gonna top
top it
it.
by a person who was Dracula, who was in James Bond, who was in like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, the most important actor of all times, topping
Nonsense.
nearly 300 acting credits in the IMDb. This is
I don't
something
know a
you
single
cannot
mountain
top.
called Porky in Titan. So,
Yeah,
suck on a
you know-
lemon.
you know
But
what?
I'm gonna suck...
Quit
Hold on,
stalling. Put
stop
out
it.
your second fact.
Second
and-
fact.
Yeah.
When Bilbo drops the ring, especially in Hobbiton, they had to get magnetic floors, so the ring never bounced, and it kind of made the gravitas of the ring much more dense. And you're like, okay, the ring of evil had a lot of weight compared to other rings, the 9 rings, the 3 rings, and all of that. So they made magnetic floors, so when the ring dropped, it stuck straight away. Boom. What is your next fact gonna be?
Yeah, I prefer the information that in the scene when Frodo dropped to the ground and the ring dropped in front of him, they didn't just use a ring, so to keep the both entities in focus, they had a ring that was like this size. But that is not my fact. Actually, do you know that, and this is one of my favorite facts of all time, the film was short to be produced by Miramax and by Harvey Weinstein.
No
The Lord
way.
of- yes, the Lord of the Rings was approached.
I mean, I'm
Miramax,
interested in what you said. That doesn't mean
Miramax-
your facts are better, but do continue.
Miramax spent
Facts are not
$14 million to develop the project, and Harvey Weinstein wanted the project to be condensed to 2 movies, and then when they dropped out of the project, which is
How
like
would that work?
this much of a story, Peter Jackson and Harvey Weinstein didn't get along at all, which goes so far that Jackson called Weinstein one of the worst bullies he ever had to work with, dropping out of any project that Weinstein was approached with in all of his future. And there is even, in the final credit scene, there
This
is
is not one fact. This is like
there
6 facts
is
into
a
one.
credit for the Weinsteins, and it is put among a picture of 2 bullies being beaten with a bat.
Sacre bleu.
And this is something where I say, Peter Jackson, you are awesome, and Harvey
you are
Weinstein, you can go rot in
And suck on a lemon.
hell.
However, the third fact. So this is... Everybody knows Hobbiton was in New Zealand. They were filming in New Zealand. But while Lord of the Rings were being filmed in New Zealand, they created a minister for the Lord of the Rings.
They did.
And I had to Google the great man's name. His name was Peter Colin Hodgson. And calling out on you, Peter, let us know how it must have been like. I don't know what this even means. Minister of Lord of the Rings. Yes, you get the ministry from tourism and you understand the pragmatics, blah, blah, blah. But did you meet everybody? Did you go on the set? Dude, if I was Minister of Lord of the Rings, for the first 3 days, I would take annual leave and just go slightly mental on the set, because
But you do
I'll
know...
take autographs of everybody and I'll take selfies and pictures and all of this cool stuff that you people do. But of course, post it on Instagram because that's really cool to do. Facebook, don't forget Facebook. And then I would just be like, Gandalf, can I touch your beard? I really want to touch his
Yeah,
beard.
but you know, like half of New Zealand was part of the film.
This is
you know,
not
like
possible. Half of New Zealand.
You
is
know,
part
like
of the
they
movie.
had open
This is
casting
mental-less.
calls where like half of an entire city lined up. So okay, I have another fact for you.
Oh, God.
I mentioned in the first segment that the Lord of the Rings was once deemed unfilmable. And it was
Go
deemed
on.
unfilmable
Yes,
by Stanley Kubrick,
Yes.
the director of 2001: A Space Odyssey, the awesome The Shining, and so on and so forth. And there was originally a plan for Stanley Kubrick to make a movie adaptation of The Lord of the Rings with the cast from the Beatles.
Oh, you stole my fact! This was there!
Yes.
Oh, you stole my
Yes.
fact!
The actors.
But
you
he
would
said the
have.
film was infilmable.
You
He stole
you
my fact.
would have
You
had
stole my fact.
Paul McCartney as Frodo, George Harrison as Gandalf, Ringo Starr as Samwise Gamgee, and John Lennon as Gollum. This is
But
a
John
movie
Lennon cannot be
that,
Gollum.
Yeah, because he's dead. But
No.
because
When he was alive, hypothetically,
that
John
is
Lennon
a
cannot be
movie
Gollum.
that almost happened, and this is something.
Enough. No, you've stolen the
Okay,
fact.
okay, please go about
You took advantage of me.
your funny facts.
So, you talk about all of these. How many facts do you have where the mountain is named after you? None. I've got a minister named after me. None. And you're coming up
You
with
have a
Lord
minister
of the
named
Rings.
Knuckles?
Ha ha ha. So, they shall not pass. It was most famously used during the Battle of Verdun in the First World War by French General Robert Neville. Huh, interesting. It appears on propaganda posters such as that by Maurice Neumont after the Second Battle of Marine. Gandalf warns Balrog, of course, first with, "You cannot pass." He ignores it. Well, he doesn't actually, because he never passes. Before crying, "You shall not pass!" Boom! Done. So, I've got three
But-
facts.
He doesn't really say it like that, right?
Obviously no, otherwise I would be him. I'm
Yeah.
not Gandalf.
You just said it like more of a cast member of the Ring thing.
Your fourth fact, please.
Yes, of course.
This is a
Do you see this? This
foot.
is a foot.
Yes.
Yes. And do you know that if
Smells
you count the feet, that over 6 million feet of film were shot during production of the
way.
Lord of the Rings trilogy. 6 million of these smelly bastards.
Your
But
facts are cool, but they're not interesting.
wait, my fact is a bit longer because 48,000
This is more than a
swords,
fact.
axes, shields, and makeup prosthetics were made. 20,602 background actors were cast. 19,000 costumes were made by the wardrobe department. 10,000 crowd participants at a New Zealand cricket game who made the grunts for the Orc army. 2,400 behind-the-scenes crew members at the height of the production. 1,600 pairs of prosthetic hobbit feet were created, which were, after shooting wrapped for the day, shredded so that no people take them home and sell them on eBay at ridiculous prices. 250 horses were used in one scene. 180 computer visual effects artists were employed for a majority of the 1,480 CGI
give me
shots
numbers.
that were
Like him in a
made
boardroom,
for the third
and
Lord of the
the
Rings
employees
movie,
are
which
like,
is
"Oh,
the
we
film
made 1
with
pound
the
and 2 pound and
most
3 pound and blah, blah,
special
blah."
effects in every
However, your
film.
your
There
facts are
were
interesting.
114 speaking roles, 100 locations in New Zealand used for backdrops. There were 50 tailors, cobblers, designers, and others in
Jesus
the wardrobe
Christ, has your fact
department,
ended?
and so on and so forth. And there is still. This is not the fact that I wanted to tell you. The one fact that I find the most interesting is that one single frame, and you know that there are 24 frames in any second of film, of Gollum would take 8 minutes to render for the computer, but one frame of tree bark would take up to 48 hours to render on a computer. A single frame, of which there are 24 in a single second of
The
the film.
coolest thing you've said since I've met him is what he just said now. However, it's interesting, but I have a mountain named after me called Mountain. So,
Okay,
fine.
be proud of your mountain. Give me your next
In
fact.
1999, a Russian author, Kirill Eskov, published a novel that retold the Lord of the Rings from Sauron's perspective. In this version, he decepted, that's the way to say it, Mordor as a peaceful country and Gandalf and Aragorn as evil. The Last Ring Bearer is the name of the novel. How cool would that be to read the complete opposite perspective and you're just like, wow. Instead of you just telling me, oh, there's been 10,000 hairy feet. There's been 6,000 shields. I don't know. I got bored of so many numbers that you came out.
Sorry, how cool after you have waken up again.
Exactly.
Is
Who
what
woke up
he
with
just
my
said
facts?
while you
There's
fell
a mountain
asleep.
called Mount Doom. And then this guy just comes out with there's 10,000, 2,000, 4,000, 10,000. I'm like, okay, blah, 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 blah. My facts are more interesting than yours.
Yeah, so what was your last fact actually? I got so bored I didn't...
Oh, really? There is an opposite of Lord of the Rings called The Last Ring Bearer. And it is where Gandalf and Aragorn are evil and Sauron is good. Boom. How easy
Boom.
was that to explain?
That is obvious.
Very obvious.
Something like
right.
this exists.
Instead of 10,000 words.
So, let's skip fan fiction right here. Is this the fourth or final fact? that
Final
we're-
fact is.
Final fact. Okay. So I think I'm going, because I would have more of them prepared, but there is one fact that I found very, very interesting. Because did you know that the location for Edoras was filmed within a national park? And the only reason why the film crew was allowed to film within this national park was that they said they would leave everything untouched and they would hurt nothing of the environment. Which means for a movie shoot that lasts 274 days within 16 months, which is the exact same amount of time that it took to complete the principal photography of Apocalypse Now, which is until now the record holder for the longest time it ever took to film any film. So they did one thing.
What?
They dug out the entire underground of this national park, put it somewhere else, set up their movie set, and then at the end of filming, put the entire national park, or, you know, the parts of the national park they actually filmed in, back in. This is
I'm gonna
incredible.
give you the final one. We're done after this. So, you know the big battle scenes, the two towers, the three different battles at Return of the Kings. You know what program is used for that? It's called Massive.
Yes. And was bought by Peter Jackson.
Was it? Did Peter Jackson really buy it?
With his production company.
Really?
I think, wasn't it the same program that he used to make the special effects for the Frighteners?
He did for The Hobbit as well, but Massive is the program used.
It is here. It would have been my sixth fact.
Yeah, but there we are. 5. We're done. My facts are so much cooler. Everyone's claiming everything. He was sad enough to stay up till 3 a.m. to look at 700 facts. Why would you do this for fun? Anyway.
Because it's fun.
Debatable.
The one thing
the
is...
nerd is back. The nerd is back.
It's fun to learn about the Lord of the Rings, which,
always
to my
has
opinion,
been, always
is
will be.
one
Lord
of the most interesting
the greatest trilogy
movie productions
ever made.
of all time. But
it is phenomenal. You can't mess with it.
the thing that made me stay up all night was to see you lose in this battle.
But we will see. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Yes, leave a comment.
Whose fact is better? Come on. A mountain on a titan, dude. Yeah. And there's a program called Massive. That in itself is massive. Yeah,
Yes.
good day to you. You will eat on a lot of
his
lemons.
facts were massively boring, so you could
Oh, boring.
start...
Here we go with numbers and blah, blah,
So
blah.
you could start sleeping on a mountain. However, I would be most interested to hear your opinions on our facts that we collected for the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Cool.
Please share in the video comments below your most favorite facts from the Lord of the Rings trilogy production, and believe me, the one person that loses this fact battle, there is going to be a challenge involved, and you're going to tell us in the comments who is going to have to do what. So please do that,
Within reason.
and we
Within
will
reason.
see each other again next month for another monthly special feature. And until then,
Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. We know this. And take care. Have a good one.
Yes.
Stay warm and be COVID safe.
yes, goodbye.
Goodbye. Cut.
You don't always have to yell cut.
It'll be quite funny.
There is no cameraman who could do the cut
No,
for
it'll be
you.
quite funny. Be like, cut. Alright, this is where it ends.
Is this the final cut?
Cut.
So you mean cut? So you mean cut? And please, Porky, get off your large
Ass.
butt. Go to the camera and turn it off.
Please do.
Yes.
I'm going to excuse myself.